so now let's talk about the last step, which, this is what will actually determine, if you can freestyle well, if you'll be able to freestyle. What freestyling is, in a nutshell, is turning your movement sessions into creative sessions, right? When you're out, when the best freestylers are out there dancing, they're typically not thinking. When you're in the moment and you're thinking really hard about what you're doing, you tend to mess up. And if you watch pro freestylers, most of them aren't really messing up, right? Or they don't look like they're messing up. Maybe they do mess up, but it doesn't matter because they covered it up and their body just keeps continuing, right? Like a movement session where you just keep moving on, right? But they also do moves that you've never seen them do before, and that's because their movement sessions are now creative sessions, right? You want to get to a point where you're just blanking out and doing moves, but you're able to, come up with new moves as you're doing your movement sessions, right? So I just did a move right there that I haven't seen. It was just like a little twist on a move that I typically do, but I did it a little bit differently. Maybe that comes out again, maybe that doesn't come out again. That's sort of like the magic and the mystery of freestyling, right? But yeah, so you want, as you start to, you do these movement sessions, you do the creative sessions, as you start building on them, you're gonna want them to become one session, right? Take one session and maybe part of it you're just blanking out, and then it gets to a good part in the music or something and you actually start to think about your moves. Maybe you're moving a little bit slowly, or maybe you're moving a little bit slower, but you're still trying to make up these new moves. And there is nothing wrong with thinking during a freestyle. Again, there's no rules for freestyling, that's why it's called freestyle. You can even do sets or choreography. Be careful about that because you're not going to know what the music is at a battle, so making up choreography is probably not really going to help you. That is really sort of like the start point to really like learning how to freestyle, right? Is the creative sessions and the movement sessions become one. And so when you're in the mirror with the music on and you're just blanking out, you can blank out in these sessions, not give a rat's ass about what moves you're doing. But then at the end, you get to look at your video and you see all these new moves that you created, and you can take them, put them on your computer, look at them, put them in slow motion, make sure that you have them and you learned them, and then you have a new move that you didn't even consciously create. It just happened in your sessions, and that's one way to come up with moves. Also, what you can do is you can watch videos by like Pac-Man, Moon, Farside, J Smooth, all those people, and don't take moves. All of those guys probably take their moves really seriously if you sort of, like, J Smooth does this move, and I try, even though I learned how to do it, I try really hard not to use those in battle or whatever, because it's weird. Biting is not right. I can't stress that enough. Taking someone's move and then using it, in battle or in your freestyle video, is not cool. It's a little bit different in my case. When you're learning the stuff from Tutorial Tuesdays and you use them in a freestyle video, I don't really care because I taught them to you. So why would I not want you to use them, right? Wouldn't make sense. But you don't want to bite other people's moves. What you want to do is you want to take concepts and build on them, right? So with this move, right, maybe you're not taking this move, but you're taking the concept of, like, shifting fingers, right? I've actually never done this before, so it's a little bit messy. But, maybe like this switching fingers thing, or my brother does this weird move where he like pushes this out or something. I don't know. It's really weird, but he took the concept and then he made his own move, right? There's a lot of different things. Like AJ showed me this this move where this is sort of like a chain reaction with your hand, right? And so I built off of it and I built a combo around it, around that concept. So, And that's what you can do if you're in like a little creative block, is sort of like take these concepts and try to use them in your tutting, right? Farside used to tell me, man, he would get inspired by like, I don't know, like Super Mario warp tubes in his tutting, so he'd like, you know, try to make like his tutting go through tubes. And that was just, you know, that was one thing that I built off because it was really cool. But, you know, anything could be inspiration for your moves. Don't just try to get caught up in, you know, the body movements. Try to think of weird things that can go into tutting. And that also brings me to my last point. If you really want to take your tutting to the next level, you're gonna want to learn the dance style that it grew out of. Because, you know, tutting, it's not a dance style on its own. Like, you won't actually go to, you know, tutting battles or tutting competitions. There'll be popping battles and popping competitions. So you're gonna want to learn popping. You're gonna want to learn the styles of popping, animation, isolation. Isolation is really important in tutting. Basically, taking your tutting to the next level will involve learning popping, sort of the umbrella term, you know, for all of those styles mixed. That is basically all I wanted to say about learning how to freestyle. I guess the last thing I would want to leave you with is just know that this takes a long time, and it might take a long time just to feel comfortable doing the basic angles, but just know, like, I've been doing this for, you know, 6 or 7 years. In the beginning it was, you know, I mostly trained popping, and then I sort of learned tutting on the way. But it still took a long time, you know, to feel cool doing these angles, to get my right angles correct, and to sort of learn where my creativity moves. So it takes a long time sometimes it doesn't. Don't try to base your progress on somebody else's progress. Make that personal. So yeah, that is all I wanted to say about freestyling. Probably get back to Tutorial Tuesdays next week. I hope this helped you guys, and I hope that you guys have really productive creative sessions and movement sessions. So hopefully see you guys next week.